spiritual laws, the lesson of meditation. Every wish is self-fulfilling if and only if one is inwardly convinced that what is wished will come true. If one already has this inner conviction, one is well disposed towards everything. One loves everything, understands everything, one serves everything, places complete trust in the primal power, and gives up all claim on everything that does not promptly come about of its own accord. This state of harmony reveals itself in a person's completely balanced inner life. The person who has attained this spiritual level is endlessly peaceful. Nothing in this world can move him from his inner certainty and state of balance. This total inner peace and equanimity can only be established when the person has realized that something within him is creatively active, constantly and spontaneously working in the direction of his own inherent innate wishes, and has realized that the primal power continually works to fulfill all of his wishes. Only this realization enables the person to let go of his own conscious and selfish striving and willing, and to entrust himself to the inner willing of his higher self, the primal power, and in this way no longer live and act in his own name, but rather in the name of the primal power. When the person has completely understood the omnipotent ability of the primal power to fulfill wishes, he can leave everything in his life completely in the care of the primal power and face the future without concern. Now the person is truly inwardly convinced that everything which is desired must happen, and therefore will happen. Through daily study, these insights will take increasingly deeper root in you. You will be increasingly aware of the harmfulness and senselessness of all human willfulness. As soon as your spirit has to some degree absorbed these lessons, you will quite spontaneously become increasingly able to allow free rein to the future. That is, to let the primal power fulfill your wishes, to see good in everything, to understand everything, to serve everything, and in the present, free of worry and fear, to do that which you consider right. Complete spiritual balance, and with it absolute freedom from concern about the future, will slowly smuggle themselves into your life. The new spiritual attitude will eventually become a habit, influencing all of your thinking, acting, and conduct. We humans are creatures of habit, and some time is always needed to relinquish old, deeply rooted mental habits. On the other hand, we live in a time which is still full of mistakes and errors, so that we frequently find it difficult to free ourselves from the detrimental thought waves coming to us because of the mistaken mental attitude of others. in order to exchange old mental habits for new and better ones as quickly as possible, but also in order to arm ourselves against the false and erroneous suggestions of our surroundings, so that they will no longer be able to influence us in a negative sense, and in order for us to influence our surroundings in a positive sense, we first have to learn how to concentrate. Concentration literally means a gathering or collecting. It is thus the opposite of scattering. By concentration, we understand the persistent capture of a given mental image to the exclusion of all others, and the ability to experience this mental picture within the field of vision of consciousness fully and completely. The most important condition for beginning exercises in concentration is seclusion in a quiet room, in the quiet of the night, or in the quiet of nature. All noise and possibility of noise must be avoided. Initially, even the ticking of a clock can be a hindrance. The further condition is complete relaxation of the body and the senses. Lie flat on your back in such a way that the muscles of your body are completely relaxed. Your body must lie as if it were dead, so that if someone were to lift and then release your arm or leg, the limb would necessarily sink back down as if limp and lifeless. After doing all of this, close your eyes. Pay no more attention to your body. Forget everything that touches your present life and move in spirit to a distant, peaceful, and quiet place where you had once peacefully, happily, and with deep relaxation reclined and dreamed. Search in your memories. Every person has such quiet and tranquil moments in his life. Remember, for example, how you once lay by yourself on a sand dune on warm sun-carried sand, quietly, peacefully, and freely. In an undescribable bliss you surrendered yourself to sunbathing. You are without wishes, happy, and everything within you was peaceful and quiet. You were quite alone and did not hear anything but a soft and tranquil murmuring of the nearby water. You were experiencing the peace and silence of nature. You fused and became one with it. You were endlessly happy and satisfied, since peace and silence were suspended in you. You had forgotten everything that related to your everyday life. You were simply quiet, peaceful, happy, and satisfied. Now transport yourself in spirit to such a quiet place and experience its pleasant peace and silence while you slowly think. Everything is peaceful, deeply peaceful, completely peaceful. I am by myself in this infinite peacefulness and infinite silence. It is completely quiet. Think these thoughts until you completely and fully experience the peace and quiet silence of your imaginary place. What follows now is a state of boundless endless peace and endless silence. You have forgotten everything around you. Even this quiet and peaceful place should disappear from your field of vision. You are only still aware of the peace and silence because you keep your eyes closed. You imagine that you are in a limitless space of emptiness and silence. You only hear mysterious murmuring. This is the voice of silence speaking to you. You have achieved the highest level of peacefulness. Certainly you have in your life already become aware of this voice of silence. You were sitting, let us say in winter time, in a pleasant, warmly heated room of a house in the country, in a wide reclining chair, and observing through the window large and dense snowflakes silently falling onto the ground. No sound disturbed this total silence. All was quiet. In this peace and in this silence, you hear nothing but the voice of silence speaking to you. Only when human willful self-assertion is entirely still, when total inner peace and equilibrium obtain, can human life be shaped as wished. Of course, we can never obtain this peace by force. This inner state of total peace and balance is the normal state of man. The person feels completely happy since he desires absolutely nothing. During your concentration exercise, when you have listened to the voice of silence to the point that you feel it has permitted you completely continue your thinking with eyes closed as follows. I am quiet. Everything breathes this limitless harmony, peace, relaxation, and silence. Everything is determined in advance, and nobody can change this. So let that which is predetermined happen. I'm endlessly peaceful. Everything that is happening is also wise and good and serves only to fulfill and improve life. Everything that is happening has its determined sense and purpose, and without exception serves the fulfillment of wishes. Everything that happens leads always towards deeper understanding of true being. Therefore, I'm happy, peaceful, certain, pleased, glad of life, and carefree. In these sentences lies profound understanding of a truth relating to the wise, profound, and life-enhancing predetermination of everything that happens. With each concentration exercise, this truth puts down deeper roots within you, increasingly enabling you to allow the future a free path to remain serene and in this way to clear the way for the spontaneous fulfillment of wishes. We
must remember that in everyday practical life, it would be impossible to remember, in case of need, everything said in this book in order to then consciously make use of it to guarantee success. All that we have described at length is only here in order to enable you to immerse yourself in a new and better outlook on life and to accustom yourself to it. First, by recognizing and appreciating what you have read, and then by its ongoing review and renewal. It will then begin spontaneously and automatically to act from the inside outward. This same goal is also served by the exercises in quieting and contemplation described in this lesson. You must not fall asleep while doing these exercises. Everything has to happen consciously. If you perform an exercise correctly, you achieve a half waking, half sleeping state in which you can with great ease think whatever thoughts you choose. Of course, you must first learn the prescribed sentences by heart. These exercises for relaxation and contemplation can be extended for any length of time you like. In any case, you definitely have to practice them for several months at least twice a day. In the evening before you fall asleep, and in the morning as soon as you wake up, in order that the resulting inner peace and serenity about the future can become habitual. In any case, you must accustom yourself for the rest of your life to think these thoughts at the end of the day until you have fallen asleep with them. Everything uses difficulties only until it becomes habitual. Once something becomes a habit, we accomplish it without effort and automatically. Indeed, it even takes effort to refrain from it. This holds true also for the described exercises for relaxation and contemplation. They too will become habitual, and the feeling of success, assuring inner peace and absolute serenity towards the future will soon smuggle itself into your life, and along with it